streaming, just to see if it works successfully, because I genuinely don't have a clue if this is going to work right or like have the correct settings label. I don't even know.
We'll see.
It says I started streaming. Let me just get things set up. Copy the link. Can I send it to you guys so you guys
On
can help me
YouTube,
keep up with
right?
chat and stuff as well?
Yeah.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like I am, in fact, not going to be able to keep up with chat very well while DMing.
You said a lot of words that I don't understand.
I'm gonna struggle. That's what I said. I require
You
assistance.
said a lot of.
Do I just put the number that I come up with under rolled HP, or does it matter?
I mean,
There's
what we're
rolled
gonna
HP,
use
HP modifier, override HP.
override
Oh.
HP. Just put the overall number that you end up with in override HP, and that'll disregard everything else it's calculating, and just put the number you chose.
Okay.
And that'll be the simplest way to do it for now. Anyway, hello everybody, streaming-wise. Welcome to Paladins D&D. I'm not sure if this is working properly because I just got home like minutes ago from being at my grandparents' house all day, and I've had no time to prepare. I also only got 3 hours of sleep because of the daylight savings time. So I'm ready to go. My brain is so tired. I can only hope that I'll do this justice. Is it streaming properly? Does it look good?
It is. It looks
Yeah, it looks good.
great.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Good to know that I still know how to do something in life. So, to my viewers who might not know, that over there is King Ray Ray, that's Shroom EGP, and hidden behind the Paladins D&D logo is Kayla. I can reveal her for a second.
I am the Paladins D&D logo, actually.
Yes, it's your new identity.
Yep.
She has decided to not show her face today, but she'll probably show her face other times.
I promise I'll show my face next week. I just really felt like bumming it today.
No, that's fine. I do that sometimes. Like, after a really long day, I get home and I stream on Fridays, and I'm just like, I don't feel like fixing the mess that I am, so I'll just stream and hope no one comments on how I look like a slimy mud rag. So far, no one's commented on it, but I'm waiting for the day it happens. I feel like I'm forgetting things. I know we're missing Kite. I mean, Denise. That's one thing we're missing.
Missing the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Also, hello, that random coyote.
Oh, there's
I don't know if
chat.
you said hello to them or not yet.
Yay.
That's a random coyote.
It is a random coyote. Can confirm. I probably should tweet this, but I feel like I already tweeted and added you guys all today, so...
Do it, you.
Alright. You challenge me. Let me just, Here, I'll do it the nice way, rather than re-adding everyone. I'll just say, live now, eat dab boys.
Dab boys.
And tweet the link. Perfect. Fantastic. The world could never ask for better. Let's see if this works. It didn't, but that's fine. Who needs things to work properly? Oh, things are breaking. My favorite.
Animating right now. I'm probably gonna multitask, animate, and watch the stream. Animate later.
Nice.
Me every time I try to make the Paladins D&D animations that I've been talking about for ages. And really anything creative. Oh, that would explain why that's not showing up. It's because I'm already tabbed into that program. I was trying to like get to a text channel so I could paste the stream link, but then I realized, why isn't it going there? Oh, it's because I have a call up and it's full screen.
Hey, Cactus.
Hey, Cactopus! How's it going? Long time no see, bud. I don't know if you... I assume you remember this this D&D campaign from like 3 years ago, back when I used to stream on YouTube. It's been a long time, man. dancing, Ray? Okay, let me just casually switch this up a bit.
That sucks.
Hmm.
Coyote said he's been sick to his stomach all day.
Ooh, that's
Yikes.
not fun.
Oh no.
Yeah, I felt that. That's how it was the other week.
It is very silent right now. I'm scared.
Well, I thought you were gonna say things.
I mean, ordinarily I would, but I can't really start the session until we get Denise here, and I'm still just kind of clicking around a little bit, trying to make sure everything was working stream related. I think we're pretty much ready to go, except for Denise. Technically, we could start without Denise, but like that's a bit rude.
But
considering-
it's first session.
exactly.
You know
I
what
want him
else
to-
is rude? Making people wait.
Oh!
Wow, he went there!
Oh.
Yeah, tell everyone that in the last Paladins D&D. Anyway. I mean, it
Tell
was just
Stu
like-
that.
Ooh.
He went there. So, if anyone... Oh, Cactus says, hi EJ, yeah, Twitch doesn't like me very much, sorry. No, it's no problem, man. I'm just glad I get to see you now. It's been a long time.
Coyote's asking for our names again. He wasn't
Oh.
paying attention earlier.
This is King Ray Ray, this is Shroomy GP, and that is K-Cray. And
Hi.
all of them have YouTube channels that you can check out, but I didn't get a chance to write a proper description. So, if you'd like to put your YouTube links down in the chat, you're more than welcome to. And
I think if you click my name, it goes to it. Maybe.
that works.
I really don't do YouTube very much. I'm
Oh, okay.
actually a Twitch streamer.
Then, in that case, Ray is the Twitch streamer. Ignore the
You
YouTube side.
Twitch.
If you want to check me out, here you go.
There was something I was going to say, but I forgot it now. Dang. That's the problem with having two thoughts at once after a long period of not having any thoughts, because then you're just silent, and then you say one thing and can't remember the second one, and you're just sitting there like an idiot.
EJ needs two heads like acne. That way one cannot think and one can think for him.
Like acne? Who or what is acne?
Agni.
Acne.
He's the Hindu god of volcanoes
People
and
break out with
fires.
pimples and stuff.
I thought he
Oh.
was talking about like face acne.
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
did too.
Agni.
Agni Kai?
A-G-N-E.
Gasp. Is that where it comes from?
Alright.
I wouldn't doubt it. But I remembered what I was gonna say. So anyone who either forgot, like we all did, or doesn't, like, is new to this D&D campaign, if you would like a recap of what in the world is going to be happening in this D&D campaign, I just posted a video of our recap session where we basically gave a very brief overview of what happened in this campaign so far. I basically summarized everything we've done in one really long paragraph, and you can watch that to kind of get an idea of what has happened so far, what we're up against, and what our characters are going to be trying to accomplish. And we're still going to be like feeling things out, trying to get back into the swing of things and remember how to play D&D this session. So it'll be we'll get there. But if you're wanting a bit of a recap to know what's going on, you can watch that video, which I just posted today. I wanted to post it earlier, but I was busy at work.
EJ works now? What?
Yeah, it's been like that for a few months now, mate. Like 4 months more. And it is
No
crazy.
wonder he doesn't stream.
I work overtime like almost every week. Pretty much every
Oh
week.
boy.
Yeah.
At least it's extra money, right?
Yes, but I really don't need the money. I just need sanity.
Sanity's for the same.
You're not wrong. Oh,
I like that.
sanity's for the sane.
Who needs sanity? That's for the sane.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, this should be great. How long has it been since Anisi sent that message saying 5 to 10 minutes?
16 minutes ago.
Hello,
has-
late
He
boy.
Oh, he's here!
Well,
Hey, perfect timing.
we were just about to start talking bad about you, so good thing you joined.
Oh, that is not correct. Oh,
It's
that is
okay, I
incorrect.
can leave.
No,
No,
hey,
be
go in
counterproductive.
this dang thing.
Okay. there we
It's all good, Coyote. Just wait till you're old enough to get your own account. I can wait.
Excuse?
I thought
He
you were
was
talking to me for a hot
apologizing for
second.
not. Yes, I am talking to you.
Oh.
Your
Daisy.
name
You're
is
too
Coyote.
young for
Why is my name
Twitch.
Coyote?
go.
Look at all
Twilight
the instances
Coyote.
of D&D screens.
Here, let me fix things. Here we go.
Ah, yes.
Beautiful.
That
Okay.
Beautiful.
that one's a. Oh, okay, good. You got it rolling.
Yes, I got all the Vox photos rolling.
Great. Fantastic.
This.
Oh my god.
Oh, did you have the camera set up and I just ruined it?
No, it's
Nah.
fine. I'm just moving the logo around a little bit so it doesn't cover up anyone's non-existent camera.
You should go in support. Oh, excuse.
Okay, well, we got everyone here now. We got all our character sheets finally set up. I don't have any sanity, but that's fine. I never had any to begin with, so I guess we're ready
Yeah,
to
it's
go.
for sane people.
I'm beyond excited, but also very scared because, you know, it's a lot.
My anxiety is through the roof.
Why is your anxiety through the roof? My anxiety's through the roof. We need someone to be
my
sane here.
anxiety.
He's so
through the roof.
anxious.
Okay. Well, I guess there's no better way to start than just going ahead and starting. For the viewers, anyone want to give like a brief introduction to their characters again? Because we're kind of giving a soft reboot, like starting from scratch, even though we're really not. We're picking up where we left off.
Alright, I got this.
Okay.
3 words. I am Fox. Thank you.
You're not wrong once again. Okay. Sake.
I am clumsy animal.
I am drunk.
True.
Ray, what are you?
I am clumsy animal.
I thought you were gonna say I am elephant.
Well, I am that too.
And Eritrea slash Kayla.
I don't have like a funny thing to say.
You could say, I am dead.
I am dead. Thank you.
Oh no!
Sounds good.
Oh, amazing. Speaking of Eritrea being dead for the past several sessions, I guess we may as well start with that, because that is a good starting point. It'll take a bit of talking, because, you know, you're dead. There's not much you can do. But eventually we'll start playing the game, and we'll get things going. So, Eritrea, we'll start off with you. Last thing you remember is you were fighting this horrible tentacle monster with your friends in a room where there was a blue glow and a magic crystal that apparently had the power to rewind time or something crazy, because every time this crystal gave a blue glow, it would rewind time at the end of the day. So you finally arrived at this room with horrible chaos going on, and you were fighting this creature with your friends, hopefully finding the source of this time rewinding. And then, next thing you know, you died. And
Please tell me it was the tentacle monster.
that killed you?
Yeah.
I mean, technically you died by psychic damage from the tentacle monster. But yes, you died by the tentacle monster.
Yes!
I'm a
Okay.
little scared. Yes,
Why
you
are you
died
so
by the...
happy about that?
I'm a little... That's why I'm a little frightened.
If we're gonna go, it might as well be by a tentacle monster. Are you kidding me?
Time.
The interdimensional kraken got
Oh,
you,
boy.
yes. So, Eritrea,
Like squids.
you,
That sounds like a fun way to
for
go.
a moment, are just aware of searing pain covering your entire vision, like crushing your head inward. and your vision shrinks to a point of nothingness as you feel this immense pressure in your chest, and your life is crushed out of you, and then there's just black nothingness for a moment, silence, then a whooshing sound, and you feel a slight breeze pass your cheeks, and you're free to open your eyes if you'd like.
I would like.
Okay, you open your
Fine.
eyes, and it's less of a eyelid opening kind of thing, and more of just your vision hazily fades in, and you find yourself in like a metaphysical, hazy, foggy room, like in limbo, floating. You look down at your hands and find that they're semi-transparent, and your body is just like a legless, pointy ghost tail, like a genie. And you try to take a breath instinctually, but find you don't need to breathe. Like your chest tightens, but there's no real need to breathe. You're just kind of floating there, looking like a ghost of some kind. And you get a gauge of your surroundings and see that you are in a giant iron bird cage around you, made of iron, and it's glowing on the bars with a faint green light. As you look left and right, you see a long line of other cages, exactly the same as yours, and the walls of this hallway shiver and warp, sometimes forming large cracks in these walls, revealing a sinister purple glow coming from beyond. To the right, you see more of these cages extending far beyond view on a seemingly infinite shelf in an equally long hallway, each one with another colored, wailing soul shaking the bars of their cages. A graceful, haunting, skeletal hand drifts by, then stops. It seems to consider for a moment, then sweeps through about 8 cages, carrying the people into the unknown below, falling down into the fog below the counter. The hand seems to glow, regrowing flesh for a moment, and you hear the screams from these cages as the occupants disappear from view. Then the hand reaches out and points menacingly at one caged wisp that seems darker, with a faint purple glow coming from its tail, and a hopeless and bitter expression on its face. Suddenly, its expression becomes fierce and cruel, the purple cracks spreading upward across its body, and it becomes stronger, large, bulging muscles spawning from its arms and its back hunching horribly. Then the cage opens, and the hand whisks the creature away, phasing through the wall and out of view. And to the left, you see a familiar face, that of a dragonborn you once knew, on a similar floating, wispy body, and there are even more empty cages beyond. As you look, you see another face appear in another cage just beyond, vaguely recognizable as a magistrate guard, and then another appears in these empty cages as you're watching. These faces you don't recognize. What would you like to try to do?
I would like to try and talk to someone and just see what's going on. Is
Mhm.
there like a cage next to me with somebody in it?
Yes, there are cages basically extending either direction. One of them has Malthius, what you would assume to be Malthius, in it, and then to the right there's just some random guy you don't know.
Okay, I'll go to Malthius.
Okay. Let me just check my notes for a second, because I have way too many words here.
Words are hard.
As you speak, you just make a ghostly wail of pain that's indescribable and unrecognizable as any kind of communication. It's just like a guttural shriek that you can't kind of control as it exits your mouth. And you hear these similar echoes of pain from other cages echoing down the line. It doesn't seem to communicate anything.
Okay.
You just see Malthius kind of look to you with a look of recognition, just with fear in his eyes, and he kind of does the same thing, a weird shriek. Not as loud or firm, it's more of a just...
Alright. I guess I'll join the rest of them and go to the gate and or like the entrance, I suppose, and try and like shake it.
Okay.
And see if I can do anything.
As you're trying to shake the bars of your cage, it doesn't seem to do anything, escaping seems kind of impossible, like many of these other souls have figured out long ago. And as you're shaking these bars of the cage, you begin to hear a low, guttural rumble from somewhere outside this hallway. Then the sounds of snarling and a great impact, the tearing of claws against flesh, then silence.
Do I have any of my items on me?
No,
Okay.
you're basically just a semi-transparent floating
Being.
ghost. Suddenly, a portion of the stone wall shatters beside you into large boulders that fly across the ground, and your cage is knocked sideways into Malthius's, and both of these cages, along with several others, tumble off the edge and onto the floor. You're stunned for a moment, but you look around outside the hall into the area that's now been exposed outside, and you see a massive void beyond with, like, giant purple storm clouds zapping with some kind of horrible cracking energy, but that is pale in comparison to the giant deer corpse that you see just like staring at you with horrible twisted eyes and limbs that twist in weird directions, eyes glowing green like your pet as you see them in the darkness at the bottom of the stairs. Could I have you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Is this a horror movie? What is going on?
Yeah, this is scary.
Sorry.
I'm loving it so far.
I mean, it's good. It's just I'm terrified.
I got a 9.
Okay. A massive jaw crashes through the ceiling of this wall and then crunches off the top of your cage, like blasting you backward, and you're dead. You don't take any damage, but you just kind of are hit against the bottom of your cage, or what once was the bottom, as this cage is kind of blasted open. The bars release their magic green glow and end up as gnarled metal bars facing in all directions, as the top is just blasted through the floor by this immense maw. A small smoke releases from these bars, and the glow stops from them. And you seem to be free, but as soon as you are freed, you feel an overwhelming cold biting at you from all sides. And the jaw continues on, smashing through the floor, and sends you spinning down into the inky black clouds of the unknown below where this hallway once was. Green lightning flashes, illuminating giant, disturbing shapes in the dark as you fall through clouds from who knows how many miles in the sky. You see swirling purple glows in the distance and floating black cave formations above, like some kind of horrible nether formations from the nether, like in Minecraft, I'm trying to say. Then you pass through one cloud, and the view clears a little bit. You see the realm below you, the realm that you know and love, but it's covered in red tentacles, oozing over every inch of it like rivers of blood. There's no sign of life anywhere in this world, just death and corruption and destruction of everything you held dear. As you fall down from miles in the air, you can kind of float down. You're not really like falling with terminal human velocity. You kind of have a semi-existent body, so you're falling gently enough to not immediately turn into a puddle when you hit the ground. You catch the tiniest glimpse of light in this whole place as you are looking down into this dark world, and it appears to be coming from the north of the realm. What would you like to do as you're falling from who knows how high in the air?
Is there any way to like gauge where I'm falling?
You're currently falling above kind of the center of the main continent that you guys have been exploring so far, and this light is coming from the northern, like a small blue light is coming from the northern side, and it is kind of the only light in this giant, horrible mass of red tentacles and darkness, and of course glowing green and purple lightning from above.
If possible, I think I definitely want to avoid the tentacles and everything, and if I can, fall towards it, or just like keep it in my sights at least, so I know like that's kind of where I want to go, because light seems better than scary tentacles.
As you're floating down, you do manage to kind of like direct your path and glide gently that direction. You don't make it all the way to where the light is, but you land somewhat close in that direction. Unfortunately, as you're landing, you do hear more booms of large, horrifying monstrosities nearby in the distance, possibly aware of your presence, possibly not. Where you've landed is essentially in the same town that you guys were exploring when time kept rewinding itself and rewinding itself. You're at basically Crosswind Hold, but it's a horrible, twisted reality where this town is covered in these red tentacles that are kind of slowly eating away at the stones and the metal, leaving dark channels where there once was material, but now is just an empty void. What would you like to do? The glow was
I'm
coming.
running.
The glow was coming from the main magistrate facility place.
I would like to run as fast as I can to towards the glow. Get out of there.
Yeah, for sure. As you are running forward, could I have you make a perception check? You wave your little arms, doesn't really help you go faster, and your legs aren't really there. They're replaced by this like wispy thing, but it has the same effect as running.
I rolled an 8. I think that is.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me just do. Okay. So you're running as fast as you can towards where you saw the direction of this faint glow of hope in a dark world, and you can't currently see the light anymore because you're falling from above and you've fallen behind buildings, so there's not a visible line of sight to the light. But you're running through these passageways, and you do not see, but you do hear another sound. This is lighter, more of a skittering than a low thumping or giant impact of horrible footsteps of otherworldly beasts. And it seems to be following you across the tops of rooftops. It's hard to tell exactly where it's coming from, and when you look, you don't get a glimpse of it. Would you like to keep going or make any strategic differences?
Can I like stop to listen to it for a second? Is there a way to like figure out the vibe I'm getting from this noise? Like, am I comforted at all by it, or am I scared of it?
It sounds like humanoid footsteps as opposed to the giant impacts of large hooves or tentacles, as you've been hearing
Can
before.
I investigate? You said it was like above me. Is there any way to climb up there?
As you stop, you hear the footsteps also stop, skittering across the rooftops. The last place you hear them is kind of like a ceiling tile or a roof tile just across the way. The building in front of you kind of skitters and a pebble falls off onto the tentacles below where it makes a small squelch. And then there's silence. The steps have stopped. Would you like to climb this building or wait for it to come to you?
I think I'm climbing the building.
Alright, roll me dex real quick. It's not too difficult to climb this building. These tentacles seem to rot away and consume whatever they touch, so there are large, like, missing parts of the building that make it very easy to just kind of climb up the eroding and decaying formations of stone.
I got a 7.
Alright, well, it wasn't that hard, but you find difficulty in finding purchase with your kind of wispy hands. Your fingers just kind of pass through these stones, and you find weakness as you're trying to like grab purchase, and you don't manage to climb. Instead, you just kind of skitter against the stones and slide back to where you attempted to climb from. Then you hear a voice. So sorry, what were you saying?
I'll go. I was just gonna say, can I back up and like try and look to see what's on the roof? But if I hear a voice, then that's more interesting.
Yeah, before you see anything, you hear a voice go, "Oh, where have you come from, lost little soul? You fell from somewhere. I want to know where." Where are you? And you hear the voice kind of echoing off the buildings around you, stalking you, circling you. What would you like to do?
I guess number one, try to talk. If I like, just go, is my voice actually coming out now,
A
or
ghostly
am I just?
wail, once again, inhuman, otherworldly.
Okay. I think if as soon as I hear that, I like cover my mouth a little bit, because I'm not exactly sure what to think of said voice
You
or
just hear
where it's coming
laughter in
from.
response. Seems to be coming closer, echoing from different directions off the ruined stone pillars.
Yeah, that's terrifying. So I'm gonna run again.
Towards the light.
Yeah.
Okay. You keep running, and a moment or two later, you see a red tentacle kind of looking thing blast from behind you off to the side in front of you and hitting a building, and then a like basically Spider-Man grappling a an elf similar to you, um,
Oh.
zips through the air and lands atop one of these red tentacles, not taking any damage it seems from it, lightly landing on top of it and looking at you, holding a disgusting like gory scythe made from
Ew.
what looks like bones and intestines of some kind.
Whoa.
It's very disgusting, and she just kind of looks at you with like pale, pale eyes hidden amongst a like sunken complexion. Very clearly not the way she used to be. Not a classic elf anymore. She's been corrupted or messed with somehow. And she just kind of gives you a wry smile as she watches you run by. She makes no move to attack you. She's just kind of smiling and watching you with her pointed teeth as you just keep running by. She does not attempt to stop you, but she's making clear that she's watching you and following you, and you're not getting away. You're still going into the magistrate hold?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You hear another sound. This time, more of a slithering, skittering of large claws or something clacking against stones nearby. This is from more in front of you, but down a different passage. It's not necessarily the way you need to go, but it's off a side passage. And as you're traveling through these corridors and entering into the main keep of the magistrate, you know these passages well because you've rewinded time and infiltrated this same building multiple times, but it is very different. It's covered in just disgustingness. Parts of the ceilings have collapsed in upon itself and are just kind of melting as though they've been eaten away by acid. Any change? Still going?
Still going towards the light.
Okay. Through corridor and corridor, you weave and dodge, trying to escape from whatever these creatures are that are pursuing you. You hear them, like, laughing, this time more menacing as they begin to make ground towards you. But you come across, or you come around a corner towards one of the main rooms that the magistrate would have their meetings in. And in this grand hall, you see at the end of the hall a familiar book, one that you once owned for quite a while, along with the other book that Tyra had just been reading from. These two books sit protected by some sort of magical glowing ring, a box of glowing magic on a pedestal in front, and tapping as though it's like trying to get in, held by some kind of magnetism. You see the time rewinding crystal just kind of bumping up against this barrier as though it's trying to be attracted to the book, but it just can't. It's kind of stuck, and it's this glowing blue crystal that is the source of the light you saw. In the ceiling, there's a large crack, just an opening that's open to the horrifying view of the sky above, and this is the glimpse that you caught from before. And ahead of you, there's many pillars, stone pillars that half of them are collapsed, but somehow the ceiling is still standing, and you see two eyes in the distance off to the left, just glowing, staring at you, and you hear low breathing. What you gonna do?
I'm going for the crystal. I want to
Alright.
like try and grab it if I can.
Roll me athletics.
Athletics. 13.
Mm-hmm. You run across this cavern and you immediately hear like a scorching sound as the one of the tentacles kind of bursts open, revealing this horrifying creature come out, and it is a
Ew.
giant worm, like easily 3 times or more taller than you, and it's like a giant worm, but with like many legs that kind of stick out like spider legs and giant spines sticking out of him, a large open mouth and glowing eyes as it just kind of roars at you, and green acid, spits out of its mouth, leaking from its jaws, and it begins charging at you with no words, just a low, female-sounding laugh deep in the back of its throat. Meanwhile, the other Spider-Man kind of creature is following you as well from behind, coming in the door that you went in. Could I have you make a dex save? Because you do not make it
Yes.
across the room in time to avoid this creature. It's kind of like intercepting your path.
Dex save is 22.
Nice. You basically do a backflip, kind of leaping over it. It's a lot easier since you
yeah.
are literally a ghost and you don't even have legs to get out of the way, but you manage to do some kind of airborne gymnastics and jump over this creature as it lunges for you, missing you entirely as you leap forward, and you are now basically right in front of the crystal, still midair. What would you like to do with this crystal and this barrier?
I'd like to reach out and grab the crystal if possible.
The moment you touch this crystal, you feel a jolt in your stomach as though you're being pulled through time and space. Your eyes go black for a moment, and then you see hallucinatory, like, rainbow colors and a blast of light as, boom, you're back in the Magistrate Keep, laying on your back and staring up through a hole in the ceiling at the glowing, shattered moon of the familiar realm with a normal sky and the stars still shining. And you take a breath. And with that, we'll move on to someone else. So,
Oh,
Nani.
King Ray Ray Ray, you, Jajargo last left off, basically abandoning the party and retiring, going to find his own place because he felt bad for the horrible violence that he had caused, and not knowing exactly what his place is in life, but thinking that when Genos told him to go out and adventure to find his own place, all the murder and destruction and horrible battles was probably not what Genos meant was his ultimate goal. But that's remains to be seen. So you have abandoned the party, saying, "Where I'm going, don't look for me. You won't find me." Where are you? Where'd you decide to go?
I decided to go to a little island that's mostly sand with one palm tree in the middle that grows bananas. And I've been settling there in a lazy chair for a bit of time. I've gained a bit of weight.
How did you get here?
Well, I hitched a ride on a cargo ship and I fell off drunk.
Oh man. Well, this is not what I expected, gonna be honest. Okay. That changes my plans, unfortunately. Alright, that's fine. So, Dejargo, you're sitting there, sipping your mimosa out of half a pineapple, just kind of relaxing, enjoying life, and
Where'd I get a pineapple and where'd I get a mimosa?
you're on a deserted island. I don't know. I guess you found it. So, as you're sitting here trying to forget your woes and worries, I assume, or having a relaxing vacation, I'm not exactly sure.
I'm trying to forget.
You're looking off into the sky with your makeshift sunglasses formed from like a broken piece of glass that's been coated in soot. You see off into the distance, beyond the nice blue sky. You see clouds over the mainland of the realm, growing darker, lightning striking, but not the normal white lightning that you're accustomed to seeing. This is more of a red crackling of energy from somewhere in the center of the realm, Probably north. Which direction is that way? Northwest. The northwestern side of the main continent. So it's more north of where you currently are. But it definitely strikes you as something that is not normal, probably very powerful, possibly not
Does
anything
it
to worry
remind me
about.
of the? Does it remind me of the creature, the tentacle monster?
It does, considering the tentacle monster was reddish in color with its tentacles that kind of spanned the whole room that you guys had been fighting in. They kind of were difficult to look at as far as like mind-bending reality as you stared into the void, but
Well, I'd like to try to. I get up and I turn my chair the opposite direction of the thunder and lightning, and I sit back in it.
okay. Well, interesting. Let me look at my notes for a moment here. Okay. As you're sitting there, staring off into the other direction, trying to, block out the sounds of the rolling thunder far in the distance and enjoy what remains of a nice, pretty day with clouds in the sky and blue sky, you suddenly hear a voice, a familiar voice, echoing from somewhere nearby on this sandy shore, and you feel a familiar presence just kind of weighing on your chest. Not painfully so, but you're aware of what this is and who this is. You hear a voice that says, "Hello once again. We meet again."
I'm sorry, you're cutting out for me.
Oh, sorry, it's probably my mic just not picking up because it's
You were whispering.
yeah, exactly. We meet once again, monk of Ascension Peak. You can feel the hatred echoing as it spits out the name. Do you reply?
I just wrap myself up and I start shivering.
You ignore your problems and your friends. Look at it. It's beautiful, is it not?
No, it's not. Leave me alone.
You could join me, Power speaks to all. Those who
Doesn't.
choose to accept it are wise. You have already
Leave me
broken
alone.
many of the rules you hold dear. What more do you have to lose? Let go of these restrictions. You could help me. I have almost recovered all the strength I need. I've been growing for years, hungry, waiting, eager to devour yet another world. And now I nearly have gathered the strength to burst forth like a wave of doom. Will you not make their suffering end quickly? Clever little Atlas tried to come back and change what fate has already decided, but he unwittingly brought forth with him a piece of this coming destruction and sealed the fate of the world without even knowing. I've seen the future. I know what will happen. I know I've already won. Why resist me?
You'll make everything simple. You won't make their pain last.
No. There will be nothing but me. There will be no pain, no one else, nothing else. Just,
What do you want me to do?
well, I knew you'd see reason.
Broke up again.
Well, I knew you'd see reason. And you see from the corner of your eye one of these horrible red tentacle maws with like large razor teeth kind of coming into your vision from behind you, behind your chair, and it begins to breathe a grayish kind of black mist at your face for a moment. What would you like to do?
I just sit there, frightened.
Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll move on then. Would you like to roll me a wisdom saving throw, and we'll move on to
Sure.
someone else?
Not one.
Dead.
Oh no. Alrighty, well, that's fun. Yeah, let's move on to someone else for now. So, Denise, last we
That's
left off with you, or with Kite, I suppose. Malthius and Eritrea, two friends that you have adventured with for 4 years, basically your best friends and partners in crime, have literally died, and now Dejargo has inexplicably just decided he's yeeting out and leaving you without even so much as a goodbye. You're kind of alone and left with a drunk man and the widow of Malthius. You're sitting in your room alone, probably trying to process all this. What are you doing? It's currently nighttime. Right after you got back from the horrifying experience of seeing the darkness possess basically a whole squad of magistrate soldiers, and then Barrack himself seeming to act a bit strange.
You know, have I gone? Let's see. Can I go to the library? Is there a library in this place?
Yes, there is.
I think I'm gonna head to the library. I think
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna do.
It is rather late at night, but you decide you have the strength to wander over to the library. You pass a couple people who are wandering by, common folk, just carrying the last little bits of whatever they were moving about during the day to prepare for whatever Barrack's plans are. They seem to be tired finishing up what they're doing. A couple of them seem almost like in a trance-like state, just kind of walking by, barely paying attention to what they're doing. And you walk through the mine shafts of the Paladins space, or Resistance space, to be accurate, towards the library. As you enter, opening the door, you find a room that seems bigger than it should possibly be. Underground, it goes up rather tall in the ceiling and extends on either side with several different hallways. What would you like to do?
I want to start looking to see if there's like signs that show like different sections of the books, like if they're organized in any way.
They're somewhat
Okay.
organized, however, there are big sections that are just like books are all over the place and not like in their proper spots, but they're generally in their proper areas. So it's kind of like unkempt, as though people have been coming in, reading for a bit, and then not putting the book away properly. But yeah, there are different sections that are kind of labeled with signs. What you looking for?
I think I'm looking for a section about alchemy,
Okay,
and more to be more precise, like potion brewing. Maybe
gotcha.
there's.
There
I'm
is a
thinking of
large
brewing
section
some
for
new
that.
techniques.
Yeah, there is a large
Okay.
section for that.
All right, I want to start skimming through like the title of the books.
Mm-hmm.
At
Alchemy
least
through
the
the
ones that I can read.
ages, potion making, and you, Pip, is the best, and you should feel bad about yourself because you're not as good as him. So,
All right, okay. These books are getting personal.
yeah, that was a very personal book title. I'm sorry. What kind of book are you looking for?
More looking for a book about preventing like certain ailments, I guess. Like preventing like possession,
Okay.
something like that.
You see a couple based on like unnatural, like ghosts and how to make a potion that will resist possession and that kind of thing. It doesn't specifically talk about whatever this creature is, but in the table of contents you can see it does have resistance to crowd control effects and possession, that kind of thing, within the pages of this book. You already know somewhat how to make crowd control resist potions, but this might help expand your knowledge. You also see a couple books on like alchemy, how to change oneself to become like permanently un unable to be vulnerable to this type of thing. However, it seems to require not only transforming, it seems to be dangerous and very fringe. It's like written in some kind of, is it blood? We're
Unknown.
not sure.
Oh,
There's a lot of weird books here.
all right. I think if I'm able to snag a couple of the books that sort of give the most information, or like at least will help me with making better brews to prevent this kind of possession.
You're able to find quite a few books. As to how useful they'll be, you won't know till you read them. There's maybe about 10 books in all that would maybe have what you're looking for, but they kind of only have pieces of the puzzle, it seems. There's none that are like, how to resist the darkness and not be affected by it for dummies, 2017. But there are things that kind of have little pieces of the puzzle here and there, like getting rid of ghosts and how to not let your mind be altered by charm spells and this kind of thing, that kind of thing.
All right. I
It'll
think
take some
I'm
reading.
I was gonna take the first like handful of books that fits the subject, and I'm just gonna start binge reading.
Okay,
Just gonna plop down with the pile of books to start binge reading
gotcha.
much
In
as
the
I can
library or at your
in
room?
the library.
I will point out that you often stay up the entire night making potions and taking like all your time to do that. When you do that, and you don't sleep at all, I'm gonna have to give you a point of exhaustion, especially since you do it multiple nights in a row sometimes. So if you plan on not getting any sleep and you're just gonna like force your body to keep going long after it really wishes it could quit, I might give you a point of exhaustion. Are you okay with that? And you're just gonna keep going anyway?
But what if I made an energy drink with my alchemy tea?
Kite 5-hour energy.
What if
Honestly,
I
the
made
crash
a hot
after you
brown coffee?
the a
But
hot brown
I'm gonna
morning
make a drink.
potion. Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly.
gosh. I mean, I'll say you know how to make something, but when you crash off of that, it's not gonna be pretty. It's just gonna be the same thing.
Well, here's the thing: if I crash, I crash. I'm binge reading.
Alrighty. So you'd like to spend the night just researching as much as you can, trying to find an alchemical solution or like a way to transmute your problems into gold.
Yeah, at least try to get
figuratively.
some like knowledge or advantage I could potentially use.
Gotcha. Could I have you roll me 3 intelligence checks?
Okay, hold on. I gotta
And
pull
then
up the
we'll
dice.
move on to
here.
sake. This is not quite reuniting the party like I hoped it would. We'll get there.
What was it again? Intelligence?
Yes, 3 intelligence rolls.
Do I just roll a d20 for that?
Yes, plus your intelligence modifier.
All right. I'm gonna roll. What's my intelligence
By the
modifier?
way, you guys can stay unmuted if you want to. I enjoy hearing your laughter. It's eerily silent when I'm the only one talking.
All right. I got. Am I telling you the total or each individual with the modifier?
Each individual one with a modifier. Don't add the 3 together.
Okay. I got 17 and then 2 7s.
Okay, I'll say your first 3 books, as you're thumbing through them, you finding some really useful stuff, and you even pull out your alchemical supplies and begin, mixing a bit here and there, trying to see if you can test some of these features. Are you going to drink them as you test them, or just kind of see what happens?
I think I'm gonna read and see if I can figure out what it will do, and if I think it's safe, then I'll test it.
Okay, as you're reading, you do the basic tests first. You take a leaf, you drop 1 drop on it, see if it like literally explodes. Seems safe for organic matter. You try doing 1 or 2 other things, add another ingredient, and then it changes a different color. You smell it, smells fine. Dip your finger in, seems fine. Taste it, seems fine. You let it like roll around on your tongue for a moment. Doesn't kill you. You take a sip. You seem to feel a little bit refreshed. Nothing really happens considering you're not affected by any crowd control at this point, but it does appear to be a safe potion to drink, making progress. You go back to your reading and continue doing stuff. But as the night wears on, you begin to get really tired. Even with that hot brown morning potion, you're just like, you're getting to struggle and yawn as you read the next book and the history of alchemy through the ages and alchemical potions and you. And as you get farther, it's not really becoming as productive, and you're really tired.
Sounds like a normal EJ day.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be a smart bean, and I'm gonna set down all the ingredients and like flask and all that, and then I'm just gonna take a short nap.
Just
gonna-
a short nap, he says.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
I'm gonna attempt a short nap.
Okay. Are you gonna
Before
set
I
any?
fall over.
You do have Buck's alarm clock.
I have Buck's alarm clock. What is that?
It's
I
a
don't remember.
magical item that does weird
Oh, I
things.
do.
Um,
Oh, I completely forgot about this.
Technically,
Hold
it has other weird effects other than just being an alarm clock, but it would also function as an alarm clock if you wanted to set that to make sure you get up at a certain time.
Oh, this is like a healing item.
Yes.
So can I? So I can actually use this as like an alarm clock thing.
If you want to, why not? It's literally an alarm clock.
You know what? I'll do it.
How
I'll
long do you
set
want
it
to rest
for like 90 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. So you take your alarm clock,
Power
wind
nap.
it up a bit, set it on the counter beside you. Thump. Ziz. And with that, we'll move on to Sake. Perfect timing. He's not headphones yet. Is
What
he?
did I miss?
Hey, Sake.
I have a bad sleeping schedule.
Yes, you do. So, Sake, when we last left you, you were drunk again, happily. Although you had kind of depleted your resources as far as booze went, so you're probably going to need to stock up on some more to avoid having your curse trigger some more. But you went to sleep after you got back, just collapsed on your bed, face down, thump. You wake up slowly. Actually, you wake up rather rapidly as you're dreaming of being a great warrior, doing awesome things, falling through the air, about to punch someone in the face. You fall out of bed and bash your face into the ground and take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. You are now awake, lying on the ground with your legs tangled up in your sheets in your room. What would you like to do?
So I hit my head. You said
Yeah, just minorly. You're a
probably
little.
just like
You're a lot
Like
hungover.
5 points of damage.
I probably just like hold my head like, oh, I made mistakes, and
As you turn your head to the side, you see 14 empty beer bottles beside your bed. No alcohol that's still filled in sight.
Rookie numbers.
I guess I'll get up slowly and stretch
Okay.
and look around. I guess.
Roll me dex to stand up. I'm kidding. Yeah, you stand up, you stretch. The room seems peaceful. As you're standing, you notice a note slipped under your door. Your room is still dark, no light sources, but there's a faint light coming from below the door as you hear footsteps walking past back and forth.
I will attempt to walk over. I'm guessing there's like a candle or something I can light to see
Yeah.
better.
I mean, you could also just open the door. It's whatever you want to do.
I'll light a candle or something and let's take a look at the note.
Sorry, my throat has a tickle. Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah, you walk over to the note and pick it up. It's a bit hard to read, so you decide to light a candle. In the meantime, do you light it with a spell or just light it like a normal person? with a tinderbox.
Like a
or
normal
something.
person, because I don't know spells off the top of my head.
Gotcha. Yeah, you walk over, you light a candle with your clumsy fingers, and you take a look at the note, having trouble focusing on it in the moment, and it says, "Sake, please meet me in my office at 10 a.m. It's currently noon." You appear to have missed it by 2 hours.
Well, crap.
It
Uh,
was signed Barrack, by the way. I just did the voice because I'm
yeah,
dumb.
I assume that. I guess I'll uh, make my way over, or try to make my way over
Downtown?
to
Walking fast?
his quarters, his office, and see what he wants.
Okay. As you are reaching out to your door and opening it up, you catch a. Well, actually, roll me perception.
Oh boy. Hold up. Okay, that's 12 plus. So that's 11.
Yep. You walk out of the office, looking back and forth at all the people walking past, carrying boxes of crystals and whatever it is they're moving around to various locations. They seem a bit tired, but the common folk are doing their best. And you take a little bit of a wobbly left down the hall towards Barrack office. Now, as far as what he's going to tell you, I'm going to have problems with because things are not going as I thought, but it's fine. Yeah, you walk over to
Right.
Barrack's office that you've been to several times before, and you knock on the door, and there's no answer.
And what?
There's no answer. The door does not open.
I knock more rambunctiously, say, "Hey, Big Red, open up."
You knock more rapidly on the door, and once again, there's no response.
I stand there for a second, then shrug and go to the bar or tavern, whatever there is.
Okay, sounds good. Um, there's no response once again for the last couple seconds. You wait, and then you're like, all right, guess I'm off for the day, and you turn around and head towards the tavern whose name I forgot. That's one thing I did not write down. I don't think. I think it was called Crystal Tavern. Could be wrong on that.
Fantasy Walmart.
You walk by the
Well
Fantasy
played, well
Walmart,
played.
where
Love
roll me
Fantasy
perception once
Walmart.
again.
Oh boy. Okay. That's a 13.
You walk by the Fantasy Walmart. Everything seems pretty fine. Nothing going on. And you walk into the Crystal Tavern again. People are bustling around in there. There's only about half occupancy. It's not like a very busy time of day, but there's a fair few people in here. Common folk, mainly men, but there's one or two women in here as well. The bartender kind of nods to you. He recognizes you because you've been in here probably about 14 times in the past 2 days. So, what would you like to do in here? Tyra is not in here, nor is anyone else that you really recognize, except there is Meh, basically a clone of Fernando that looks kind of terrifying, stitches across his head, and he's just kind of sitting in the corner, just looking like a weirdo. He's just got his drink and he's going, meh. He is shirtless, by the way.
What happened?
He is shirtless, by the way.
Oh no.
People are trying to like look away, cast him a blind eye intentionally.
I guess to start, I'll say to the bartender, "I'll have the usual," and then I'll look to.
You got the gold for that, mate?
Yeah. How much?
I forgot the price that we had established. Dang it. We had a price that was established, but I forgot it. Alright. He's gonna say, 20 gold.
All right, I'll pay for that.
Do you have 20 gold?
Yeah.
Okay. So you slam 20 gold coins on the table. One goes rolling across the counter. Ting, 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 ting. Thanks for that. He reaches down and hands you two 6-packs of beer. Your daily allowance.
Oh boy. Okay.
Kind of waves you off and then goes back to whatever he was doing, cleaning out a tankard.
I guess I'll say
Interesting conversation.
I'm thinking about like a billion different things at once right now.
No problem.
Don't think too hard.
I'll ask the bartender, have you seen the red dude?
The red dude?
Yeah, you know, short but chubby, red beard. You seen him?
Are you talking about Barrick?
I think so.
Yes, I have seen him. He went out for the day. He said he had some kind of mission to do in Icehaven for some reason. I'm not sure what it was about, but he said he'll be back by the end of the day. While he's out, I think he actually wanted to talk to you. Did you end up getting a chance to talk to him?
I was a bit too late to our meeting.
Well, stinks to be you, I guess. Sorry, he's out for the day. And he goes back to cleaning his glass.
Oh well, I crack open one of my beers and just start drinking.
Alright, could I have you, oh, never mind, he keeps, cleaning his glass for a moment, and then after a second or two, just kind of making conversation as no one else is talking to him currently, he goes, have you done anything about, or have you heard about the cosmic bathroom lately?
What now?
You know, the cosmic bathroom situation. I assumed you heard of it. Everyone's been talking about it across the base. It's been getting worse, causing more problems.
What happened?
Well, it's been stuck for a while, not functioning right, doing all kinds of weird, like, space magic-y things, but now it's kind of leaking out into the hallways too. We kind of blocked off that hallway because it wasn't quite safe anymore per se. We're gonna get it fixed, but who knows when. And there's still some people trapped in there too, I think.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
remember
a-
that little gremlin girl was stuck in there.
We had a gremlin in this place? Yeah.
I
I've
don't
seen
know.
Stranger Things. So anyway, yeah, to avoid hallway number 4. That one's just a mess.
Will
I'd hate to
do.
be in there.
I guess I will like walk up to Meh and try to
Oh
Just-
no.
make small talk if I can with Meh.
Alright, you take your 2 6-packs of beer and clink your way over to Mez's table.
I'll just say,
He pulls out a small mirror.
I'll just like say, I'm surprised I let you in here without a shirt.
He just gestures to his body.
I'll just look at him and say, okay then just sit down.
Okay. And with that, I think it's probably a good time to move on to Eritrea once again. Alrighty. Eritrea, you're alive again. How's it feel?
A lot better than wherever I was prior.
Yep. As you kind of like wake up from this weird jolt, you hear once again the echoes of, I'm just a creeper, and your friends talking, and then boom, you're sitting on your back, just clutching this crystal, staring up into the sky. Your mind is reeling a little bit, but you're alive, you're breathing, and you feel what you're laying on is your backpack with your stuff in it once again. You're basically
My stuff.
you're basically back
Nice.
to the way you were during that fight.
Alright, and I have the crystal in my hand.
You have the crystal, which is just kind of sputtering a little bit. It still is glowing with that blue energy just a little bit, but it's kind of faint and like spazzing a little bit. Little sparks are shooting off of it. It seems like it's no longer quite the strong glow that it was earlier.
Alright, first things first, I want to put that in a safe place. So maybe
Mhm.
somewhere in my bag.
Yep. You go ahead and put that into your bag, and as you're kind of adjusting yourself, you see around this room you are currently standing in the secret area that was behind the closet, like the secret facility behind the closet in this magistrate force,
Mhm.
in this magistrate fortress, and there's a giant hole in the ceiling. There are some people walking around, magistrate guards. They're passing by the entrance to this area, but they're not currently in the room you're in. You hear voices echoing from nearby. There's, if you had to estimate using your your keen senses, you'd probably say there's about 10 guards in this immediate area, just apparently not having noticed you yet. But they probably would. What would you like to do? Or like they
I would
probably
like
will soon if you're not careful.
I'd like to take cover somewhere, kind of duck behind a wall. I want to try and get out of there so I can hopefully find my friends, but
Gotcha.
definitely don't want to get caught.
Mm-hmm. So, you duck into the nearest doorway. It appears to be a kitchen of some kind across the hall from where you hear the majority of the voices talking from. You duck into this dark kitchen and kind of peek around the corner, and you see across from you is the library where you were fighting the darkness. And there's just kind of ruins, a big hole in the ceiling, collapsed struts that were supporting the building. There are a couple bodies of guards, magistrate guards, laying on the ground, lifeless, and it's just kind of a chaos. There's people going, "How did this happen? What's going on? I have no idea." Just general chatter like that. And you know the way out. It is off to the right, down a different hallway, but you hear more voices coming from that direction as well. So, what's the plan?
All right. Is that the only way out that I know of?
Well, there are several other entrances and exits of this room that you found yourself in. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 total. The library is one, the kitchen's one, the exit out the secret passage behind the closet is one, and there is one where you see daylight coming through. No, wait, it's nighttime, didn't I say? Okay,
Mhm.
it is nighttime.
Moonlight.
It's hard to tell, but yeah, it seems like moonlight shining through a different side passage. I'm not sure if you actually looked into this doorway or not um, at the time.
Okay. Um, is there any like rubble that's easy to pick up and like throw near me at
Yes.
all?
Yeah, there are
Um,
crumbled stones all over the floor.
all right. Can I grab a decent sized stone and kind of throw it back in the room behind me in hopes that it'll draw the attention of
In the
some
kitchen?
of the other people away? In the wherever I like came back to life, I guess, because I have to go through the kitchen to get to where the main
You
entrance,
actually
right?
the room you found yourself in that has the 8 rooms branching off of it, so you would have to go back through this room in order to get to the other place where the moonlight potentially is
Okay.
coming from.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the kitchen. Is there any like I know everything's like destroyed. Are there any like pots or anything
Yes,
hanging?
you actually see one pot that looks like it was used like recently, as in a couple hours ago. It's still got like strong steak smell coming from it, and there's a little bit of oil left in the pan.
Ooh, what type of oven are we working with?
It
Is it
is
like
a standard oven. It's got, just a
is it
crystal
like
powered.
flame?
It
Or
appears to have a crystal powered heating element at the bottom, not like a stone fire stove.
gotcha. Um, all right. I think what I'm going to do is pick up any of the rubble beneath me. And I'm going to aim for one of the pans as far as throwing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then wait for a second to hear if anyone like starts coming over that way, and then head out of the entrance if possible, or the exit.
Okay, I will point out that this kitchen does not have any other entrances or exits, so you're basically hiding in this kitchen, and you're going to try to make a noise on the other side of the kitchen and draw someone to you, and then you're going to
Yeah.
try to escape right past them?
Yeah,
Okay,
kind of like hiding along
gotcha.
the wall, and then you know how they kind of like enter a room, you're right on that wall, and then you like sneak past them.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of risky, but
I see. Alrighty, well, you're a rogue. You got stealth, right?
yeah, that's my job. So
Yep, alrighty. Well, go ahead and I'll say that it doesn't take a skill check to just chuck a rock at a pan and make a loud sound, attempting to draw the attention of someone or something. How big of a crash are you trying to make? Just like a boom and a boom thump thump thump, or just like a pong thong thonk?
a decent one, to the point, because obviously everything's kind of like crumbling,
Mhm.
but I want to do something loud enough to where they're actually going to want to investigate it.
Gotcha. So you're trying to make it clear that something happened other than just a building collapsing.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
something's going on in the kitchen.
Alright, so you yeet this rock, kaboom! Make like a large clattering of several pots and pans as they clank into each other and fall to the ground. Thump, thump, tang, 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 tang. And you hear more than a couple voices go, ah! What is that? Who's there? Go check that out. And you hear footsteps approaching. What are you gonna do? Just like press yourself against this wall? Try to hide in the
Yeah.
refrigerator, behind the
Mhm.
door?
Pressing
yeah,
myself.
Skyrim all over again.
Just
I want to
crouch.
hide as close to like the entrance of the kitchen as possible. If there's anything to kind of like crouch or hide behind or take cover with, definitely use that to my advantage. Otherwise, just kind of hide there.
The door would probably be your best bet.
Okay, does it
but
like
it is
swing
risky.
open into the kitchen?
Yeah, it opens into the kitchen, so you could hide behind that door. There's not a very
Okay,
good selection of hiding spots where you currently are.
I'll use the door.
Okay.
Good enough.
I will say that as you're sitting there waiting for your moment, you hear the footsteps of probably about 3 armored guards, sounding like they're in plate armor, marching forward towards your location. Roll me stealth.
Stealth. 19.
Nice. Okay. So you see, as you're pressed up against the wall behind this door, you see a sword enter your vision, and then followed by the arm of a guard, and the guard walking into the room, looking back and forth very hesitantly, as though he's terrified of what could be around this corner, followed by a second sword and a third sword. Somehow they don't seem to notice you behind this door. It is very dark in this room, so you blend in with the shadows. They have not managed to bring a light source with them into here, apparently. What's your move?
I'm getting out of there. I'm not gonna close the door. I'm just going to like
Roll me
creep
another stealth check.
behind it. Alright. 20.
Natural 20? Or
Mm.
20 plus additions?
I rolled a 10 and then plus 10 for my stealth, so.
Nice, okay. Yeah, you... Hang on, let me... Yep, you just kind of creep around the door as quickly as you can and try to tiptoe your way out of this room. You still hear voices echoing from the room where the battle went down, and more voices walking past the doorway. It seems that they did not actually enter the secret zone as they went down the hallway. So you're free and clear. You get to the secret passage and enter the main hallways of the Magistrate Keep. Where would you like to go?
I'm leaving. I'm trying to get out of here.
Back to the main
As long as
entrance
there's no
along the
threats,
hallways that you've
yes.
explored previously? Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
So, since you've explored this place multiple times in various different instances of time rewinding, you kind of know your way around here. So just roll me another stealth check as you hear more footsteps approaching from various directions, and you're trying to sneak past.
29.
Mission Impossible music starts playing, and you start like climbing along the walls and like backflipping around corners, and somehow these guards just kind of walk past. Then the camera pans up, and you're like Elastigirl hanging on the pipes of the ceiling, and then you drop down. You're a ninja as you pass through this building,
Yeah.
and you manage to basically make it all the way to the main gate of the city, which is basically the only way we've entered and exited this keep the many times that we infiltrated this fortress. However, it is heavily guarded. There are a lot of people here. So there's basically 4 guards at the portcullis, 2 on the top of the wall, 2 by the door, and then there is a bridge that heads forward into the street where the rest of the city is. There are also several guards kind of walking around with spears as they make their rounds. How are you gonna play it?
Oh boy. I don't know if I can stealthily get through this. I'm probably going to take out my knives. I have Maeve's knives, right?
No, that's Kite. Kite has
Or
those.
oh, okay. I don't remember what like weapon I had.
You
I
had
definitely have like
regular
a dagger or
daggers. You
something.
had Cassie's, Cassie's bow, I believe.
Mhm.
Cassie's crossbow, and you had the chestplate of rejuvenation. What else did you have, if anything? Double check.
Crossbow.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
it. You just had regular, thieves supplies after that. Dungeon use
and my tools. I don't. We'll have to play this by ear because I don't remember exactly what I had. I supposedly have some sort of disguise kit. Can I
Okay.
use that here?
Most of these guards are in uniforms of some kind. The magistrate colors are marked with red pieces of cloth. However, you guys have gone to a costume shop a couple times, though I can't remember which rewind actually was the one that got saved.
Yeah.
It's possible that you would have something of magistrate clothing in your disguise kit. What kind of disguise would you like to craft?
Um. What all kind? Did I just see guards when I was there? Was that like
You've
all that?
what you've seen so far, since you haven't been investigating, you've just been kind of avoiding people that you happen to
Mm-hmm.
like that happen to get by you. Most of it has just been guards in
All right.
varying levels of armor.
I think I'm just going to do the best I can to just look like I work at the magistrate, whether that be like a janitor or a cook or like something stupid, because I don't think I've got enough for like a guard, but we're going to try to do that, and we'll talk our way out of it if we can't stealthily
Okay.
get out of here.
Could I have you roll me a sleight of hand check for your disguise making?
Yes.
Also, are you gonna like do this as fast as possible around a corner in case someone comes up on you, or are you gonna like spend 10 minutes crafting this perfect disguise?
Um, definitely trying to be quick with it.
Hmm.
So probably not 10 minutes, probably just like a couple of minutes gathering my stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah.
And I rolled a 15.
Okay. I'll say you whip up something. It's not pretty, but I mean,
Neither is the magistrate building,
ooh.
so
So you kind of just look like a commoner who's kind of thrown like a red cloak around you. So if you don't look too closely, I mean, they've got the magistrate colors. I
Mhm.
don't know what they do, but they're here. That's about all you got. You want to give it a shot?
I want to give it a shot.
Okay. So you're approaching from the interior of the magistrate, and I will say that these guards seem to be kind of on alert. They're looking around. It's still the dead of night. They're nervous. They're not sure what's going on. And they are looking both on the inside of the wall and on the outside, as opposed to just looking out. Are you approaching just like from the open door of the main hallways?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just acting not suspicious as possible.
Okay. The guards are sitting there with their spears. Halt! Who are you?
I am just a commoner. I'm trying to leave.
How did you get in here? What are you what's your business? The gate's closed for the
Oh,
night.
already? Oh, I must have lost track of time. You see, with all the damages and that sort of thing, my business is to help rebuild. And with all the damages, of course, it was a lot to go over, so I apologize. I must have lost track of time.
So you're a contractor?
Yes, that is what I am.
Hmm. Can you have you roll me a deception check, please?
Oh no. 8.
What's your addition on that? Is that with the addition?
I rolled a 3 plus 5, so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He says, I wasn't aware we had begun preparations for repairs yet while we're still trying to figure out what happened. And he
Well, we
gestures.
haven't begun any. There. We haven't done any repairs or begun any repairs. Have you seen this place? We're just trying to get, an idea. Can't have it looking like this forever now, can we?
You see him kind of nod off to someone behind you in the other side of the courtyard, and he seems kind of suspicious of your response. His facial language and body language seems more guarded, and he's kind of gripping his weapon more securely. He does not seem to be ready to attack yet, but he's not making any effort to raise the gate for you. What would you like to
Look, I understand we've all been through a lot with everything that's happened recently, so I commend you for taking your position properly and being cautious where, it be necessary.
Do you have any credentials, ma'am, about your business here?
Credentials.
Yes.
I mean, you could feel free to go ask whoever hired me to come here. Asking for
Whoever,
credentials.
do you have a name of who hired you?
Don't recall, in the midst of everything that's been going on lately, I don't keep track of whoever it was.
Right.
They're so gonna hunt you down for this.
Digging your grave. Oh no.
You want to get out of here.
Oh no. Okay. So this man just kind of gestures to his ally and says, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. I don't believe your story. This happened just mere hours ago. I don't know what this damage was caused by. We're still this. There's no way you're a contractor." And he kind of crosses his spear with the other guy, and says, "I'm afraid you're under arrest, whoever you are."
Oh. I wanted to be friendly about all of this,
Oh
but if
no.
we have to fight, we can fight.
Oh no. Oh no. Alrighty. What are you gonna do? So they're crossing their spears, and you hear footsteps approaching from behind you in the direction of the guy who he gestured to.
All right. What's like the hallway situation?
You're currently
am I-
standing in a 15-foot by 15-foot kind of cube. The big wooden doors that you came from are ahead of you. It leads to a big old hallway. There's also some stairways that go up to the top of this outer wall that protects the world, and there's a portcullis in front of you with some kind of cranking mechanism at the top of the wall.
So there's okay. Repeat the whole staircase thing again. Trying to
There are some
visualize it.
stone staircases off to the sides, like on the outer, or like the inner side of the wall, but like
Mhm.
towards the exit of the whole keep. and these stone staircase up the wall lead to a small tower where you can crank up the portcullis and drawbridge.
Gotcha.
And there are 2 guards up at the top, 2 guards that you're currently facing, and then there's someone footstepping up from behind.
All right. I'm going to try and avoid fighting them as much as I can. So I'm going to try and go back the
You
way
could try
I can.
talking to them as a prisoner. Right.
Were you playing a violin? What was that?
No, he was using a shovel.
Oh, okay. Dig myself a hole. I'm scared to talk to them. I don't.
I mean, you are welcome to do whatever. I just don't want you to die again. I'm kidding.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
First time was pretty traumatic.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what the prison situation is. This place is fairly run down.
Yeah, you haven't actually been to the prison of this place yet. That was the others.
Mm-hmm. You know what? We're gonna get arrested. Why not?
Alrighty. So, you feel, or you hear the clinking of what sounds like handcuffs behind you as this man is approaching. Do you let it happen?
Yeah. We'll let the handcuffs happen.
Mm-hmm. You feel some strong manacles clapped over your arms behind you as the guard says, "Alright, we're gonna talk to you and get the real story out of you as we try to figure out what's going on. If you are a contractor, you'll be released and free to go. But we can't allow people coming and going while we're still under lockdown. This is top priority, big whatever that was. I'm sure you'll pardon the inconvenience."
Of course, of course.
Mm-hmm. And then this guard begins leading you off towards the magistrate prisons in Crosswind Hold. With that, let's move on to King Ray, I guess. Oh. So.
How are we supposed to know you've been arrested if we think you're dead?
I don't know.
That's
Okay.
the thing. Oh boy. So. Deshargo. Last thing you remember,
Welcome
you
to
were
the dark side.
last thing you remember, you were on a island having a casual, good old time. Now, you are sitting at Ascension Peak, kind of meditating in the same spot that you always meditate, but surrounding you is the ruins of your monastery. There are bodies of your friends and, well, what you would have considered them your family, surrogate family, because you were an orphan. But there are bodies laying in the rubble around large stone sculptures that you yourself helped to craft lie in ruins at your feet, and the mountaintop lies quiet and still. There's no one to speak of. There's just silence, the wind rushing past, the floaty whales in the distance, clouds blowing past, and a calm. You don't remember what happened. You don't know how you got here, but it is the same place you once called home. Just much more ruined. Not one brick is left laid upon another in your temple. What would you like to do?
I get up from my meditation position and I make my way over to the rebel that used to be the statue of Genos that I made for him before I left off with my friends.
Say that one more time. EJ didn't understand.
Before I left for the campaign,
Mhm.
I made a statue of Genos and I gave it to him as a present.
Mm-hmm.
I walked over to that statue if it's still standing or even if a piece of it is.
It's about halfway smashed. The top half of it at an angle is kind of broken in pieces. but you still see enough of it to be able to see just a small fraction of the face laying on the ground, staring up into the sky, and the lower half of the body, and a hand holding a bunny.
Okay.
Like a runic kind of symbol and
Mm.
constellation pattern, but it's
Okay. Okay. I just continue looking around.
Mm-hmm. As you're looking around, just kind of taking in the sights, you don't feel like you don't feel satisfaction. You don't feel like you did this. You just feel confused. Like, how did this happen? You don't know what happened. I'll say that. The last thing you remember is being on that island. You do not remember your interaction with this darkness. All you know is
Well,
that
I
you're suddenly
start
here at the top of a mountain.
I start looking for the reason why I might be here.
Mm-hmm. As you're looking around, you hear a familiar, "Oh," Master Genos, his movement.
Mm.
You don't see him yet. He's here. You can tell.
Can I try to follow the noise?
Yes. Oh, Jenny boy, where is? Sorry, I'm looking at Kite's messages. Yeah, you follow the direction of the noise. It seems like it's behind you, off to the right, towards where the highest point of the peak is.
All right, so I'll make my way there.
Mm-hmm. You walk your way through the rubble, kind of stepping over large pillars and stones from this temple that was basically demolished by who knows what. Even parts of the stone are like melting, burning. You can't even tell. They're like scorched with some kind of residue, black and oozing. And as you're walking towards the highest point of the peak, where Genos once ascended to the stars all those years ago and became a god, you see him floating there. I was about to say standing, but no, he's floating, just kind of staring off, not at the ruins, but down, down into the far below, the cloudy tops of the clouds and the realm beyond. You see the same storm clouds gathering far off in the distance, and a spreading purplish glow coming from somewhere off to the northwest once again. And Genos is just sitting there, passively, his white hair billowing in the slight breeze, his mask betraying no emotion, and his cloak, stars eminent on it, sparkling as it just kind of waves behind him. He does not speak, he does not turn to you. He simply floats there.
I go up to him and just sit next to where he's floating.
Dejargo. It's good to see you. I am glad
It
you
is good to see you
survived.
too, Master. Survived what?
Whatever happened here, I was not present. Perhaps I should have been.
Don't blame yourself. You have better things to do in this world.
What better things are there to do than to protect one's followers?
I don't know.
This is not how
You're the one
things
that
were meant to.
ascended.
This is true, but even one who ascends does not have all the answers. It is difficult to grasp some things, even for a god.
So have you found your answers yet?
What answers do you speak of?
You went off to look for something, did you not?
That I did. seems like so long ago. Might I ask if Julian is alright, by the way? He was with you, was he not?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, you left him with a Paladin's base, by the way.
Right.
Okay. And you do know of the blueprint, by the way. The blueprint that was given to Saphira by Atlas.
Okay.
About the whatever it is. Sorry, if you'd like to talk to him about that. Sorry, that's just a suggestion, not something you have to do.
Right.
What was the last thing you said? I'm a little frazzled.
I said I don't know.
In response to what?
How is what's his name?
Oh, Julian, sorry.
Yeah, Julian.
You said you don't know?
Yeah.
Well, I fear for his safety then. I fear for all our safety. Well, I may be a god, but even I can see this does not bode well for the realm. What do you see, Dejargo, when you look out? He points his hand forward to basically a part of the land that's kind of spreading with a purplish glow and small sparks of purple lightning flashing up from the ground and entering the dark clouds above it, where it turns red.
Chaos.
That is my assessment as well. Have you found your purpose yet, Dejargo? What you are made to do?
I thought I did, but something happened.
Care to share?
A monster scares me.
A monster scares you? The biggest monk the world has ever seen. Usually they flee
Yes.
in terror from you.
Yes, this one very powerful.
Too powerful, I fear.
Yes.
I know some of this creature, but not all that I must. I, for once, do not have the answers that I need. I do not know how to proceed to protect the realm and guide us to a better future.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Neither does he. He
I
just floats in silence for a second, the wind billowing past, carrying with it the scent of burning. And I guess we could leave off at that moment, but then I'd have to finish up what they finished talking about next scene, so we may as well finish it up here. Yeah, you know what? We'll cut off that for now. We'll finish that later. Who was next in the turn order? I think it was Denise, but I can't remember.
I think it was me.
Okay, cool. Hopefully next session we'll get everyone gathered up together again. We'll see. We're getting close to the end of this one, by the way. So, Kite, right beside your head. You jump a mile high.
Easily.
I believe it has a healing effect too, but that doesn't really matter because you're at full health. You're at the base, so
Yeah.
just feel like a rush of like calming worm energy blast through you at the same time as absolute adrenaline and like fear blast through you. Your body thanks you for the rest, but wah!
So I definitely panically turn off the alarm as it jolts me
You
awake.
slam your fist down on this alarm clock and it goes and gives up. And with that, you're awake. Probably more than awake. You see across the library there's an orc just like nose in a book and he just goes back to reading. He appears to be reading a cookbook, if you care.
All right. How far did I get into my reading before I
You read through 3 of your 10 books.
All right. I better get back to reading then.
Yep. Alright.
Now that I have
Could
had
I
my
have
rest.
you roll me 2 more intelligence checks?
All right, 2 more. It is 13 and 21.
Nice.
I got a nat 20.
And a nat 20?
No. I got one of them was a nat 20. 21 is the final number.
Okay. Very nice. So, you begin reading your books again, revitalized by the short nap you've had, and you blast through the remaining books you have. The next 2 you read really aren't useful in the slightest. They're basically just useless compared to what you're actually trying to research. You just toss them behind you into the pile of books that are already in a mess, so who cares really? And then you find the 3rd book. Bingo, there's something you really could use. You add some more potions, ingredients to what you had saved previously, heat up your Bunsen burner once again, it just starts bubbling with a faint greenish glow. And after some more testing and experimentation, you spend basically the rest of the night working on this potion, and you make a breakthrough. Bingo. You now... What are you doing, Shroomy? You think you have a working potion that will not only clear status effects like being slowed or poisoned or like paralyzed, that kind of thing, but will also help the user resist being charmed or possessed, like mind altered kind of mind control type things, for a full day. Like it'll work on the mind control thing for a full day. The other things are basically a one-time clear your status effects. And this potion does require some tricky ingredients that you don't have very many of, but and it does take some time and skill, obviously, since you're just figuring out how to make this work. But yeah, you've made a breakthrough. Would you like to give it a test, considering you don't actually have any status effects on you?
Let's see. I'm gonna
You're
save.
about 90% sure it'll work. There's a 10% chance maybe something went wrong, but you're pretty sure it works. In theory, it should work. You've got the theory down. You just need to perfect it, I guess.
Okay, Sake will help me with that later.
Just mix it into his alcohol when it's not working.
Yeah, count me in.
I might clear his drunkenness.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't want to clear his drunkenness after what happened last time.
All right. Well, now that I got that, I probably should look for another section of books more on like the that whole darkness demon like thing. Maybe I should probably learn more about it.
It is currently 7 a.m. You've spent pretty much. Wait, hold on.
Oh, it's only 7 a.m. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's 7 a.m. The usual morning lineup. You've got yeah, you threw away 2 of those useless books, and you've got 8 books left. But would you like to put those away and get new books, or are you just gonna leave them where they are?
I think I would put
you have
away
a history of
all
eating
of
books.
I'm going to yeet away all the books except for the one that was actually really helpful, because I might use it again later.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem.
Just in case.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm gonna go look for a section on like I guess like dark arts. I don't know if that's like a thing.
There are fewer of this type of book. The Forbidden Knowledge section appears to reasonably have fewer books. You walk back over to the area where you found that book that was written in blood, and you see several more books with like skulls on the cover and like weird kind of crunchy covers as you try to peel the backing open to take a look at it. It's like made of beetle hide or something as you're trying to open these books. It's very gross and just not pleasant to touch.
Ugh.
You're looking for information on the darkness, you said?
Yeah, or
Mhm.
whatever that thing was that attacked us.
Well, from what you've been told so far, it would seem that the only real information people have on it is what Atlas has brought back, considering he traveled back in time to warn the realm about it going to destroy the realm in the future, and how it was going to be a big problem. So apparently it was unknown before that, and all the knowledge that, or at least what you've been told so far, all the knowledge about the darkness theoretically comes just from Atlas telling you or telling other people, and maybe they had some information, but it all comes originally from Atlas. So he would be the ultimate source as far as knowledge, and he wasn't terribly helpful last time we talked to him, mostly because you got attacked by stuff, and Sokka attacked him, and it was a great time.
All right, so then I'm assuming the books aren't that helpful then in this
Yeah,
area.
as you're looking through, you find you're like looking through magical beasts and where to find them and all that kind of stuff. You don't see any mention of the darkness. You don't see anything remotely
Okay.
close to what you're looking for. You do find uh, some books that are a little bit less dark and occult, but they do have pictures of like a large stone obelisk with like fox ears and like it looks like it's relating to the ancient ruins, some of the ancient ruins that have been scattered around the Shattered Desert and that kind of area. And there is a mention of some kind of great evil that must be like kept sealed away or something, but that's kind of the closest you get.
Hmm. Is there any information in that book that would be helpful to our situation
Well, you'd
that
have
I
to
can
read
grasp?
more than just the like introductory.
Well, yeah, I want to dive into that book.
All right, you want to spend some more hours poring over it?
Might as well.
Okie dokie.
Gotta prep.
Could I have you roll me a perception check while you are in this library doing your thing?
Perception. Oh dear. Is that the D20 again, right? With what's my perception? Do I not have that? Oh no, I do. It's over here. It is a 16 total.
Okay. As you're sitting there, kind of reading your book, beginning to thumb through the pages, you hear a large crash coming from somewhere else in the base. Like a crash large enough to just kind of rattle the bookshelves that are leaning against the walls. Not enough to shudder the floor beneath your feet, but it was a big crash. It sounded like stone or like some kind of heavy impact on the base itself. What would you like to do? Just keep doing your thing?
Well, I'm gonna put myself on like I guess like a soft alert because that's unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna keep reading.
Gotcha. After a few more pages, you begin to hear the story of how long ago the pieces of the moon crash. Another one. Want to keep reading?
Honestly, no. It's like getting a little too Monka-esque for me.
Yeah, at this point, if you're at a like positioned in the library at a point where you can see out the door, you would see some of the other common folk are kind of like looking around, slowing down their walks, like what is going on? There aren't very many people walking
Mhm.
past at this point because it's super early in the morning, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Can I do like a perception check to like sort of figure out where that banging is coming from,
It's
or
too
is it just
vague
like
to
all
figure
over?
out where it came from
Too
at this
vague.
point, but you can search around if you'd like.
Uh, think I'm going to like pick up, sort of get up with the book, taking it with me, and sort of like slowly walk towards the exit while I sort of read some more,
Mm-hmm.
just so I'm on the move and
Gotcha.
ready to run.
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty. Boom! A third crash. This time louder as you're exiting the library, and it sounds like it's coming off from the right as you're looking down this hall. To the right is towards the main kind of hub of the Paladin space, or Resistance space. Sorry, always forget. And like where the war room is, where the entrance to the whole base is, that branches off in the mystical labyrinth that goes under the entire realm apparently, and you know, various other places. Yeah. Would you like to
Okay.
follow towards the source of the sound?
Yeah, I'm going to sort of mark where I stopped at in the book, put it away, and
Dog ear
then
the page.
yeah, and then sort of like, I guess, make my way over, not like to make myself visible to the room, but like peek in and see what is the commotion.
Side note, did you clean up your potion stuff and put it back in your bag, or is it still sitting in the library?
No, I took that with me, I assumed.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you put all your stuff away when you were finished with that project and started working on the darkness hunt. So you take your book, your new book, you put that in your bag as you're inching closer to whatever is happening here. You hear another, much louder boom, and the ground shakes this time. People are beginning to go, something's going on here, mate. What's going on? A guy holding a milk crate of crystals kind of slowly puts it down and begins walking the other way. They're looking in the direction of the entrance to the Paladin space. That's where it seems to be coming from.
Ooh. So I'm going to assume something is trying to breach into the base at this point.
It's a possibility.
So I think I'm going to attempt to alert Barrick about it.
Mm-hmm. You know where Barrick's office is.
So I think I'm going to start making my way towards there, kind of in like a speed run, or not speed run, but like a fast walk.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Alrighty. So you begin walking over to alert Barrick to this situation as there is another boom, and you're making your way downtown walking fast. Sorry. It's a reflex. And as you're like halfway across the main chamber, people are kind of backing away. Some have drawn weapons like an auto assault rifle and they're kind of aiming, but they're very hesitant as to whatever this large force is trying to blast through this doorway. And as you're halfway through the hall, or halfway through the chamber, getting towards where Barrick's office would be on the that hallway, the door suddenly forms large cracks in it, and you see fire blast through them, and the large chunks of this large doorway blast outward into the main room, just kind of falling into a shattered heap onto the ground. And in a plume of smoke and fire, a large hulking form steps forward over these stones. A draconic foot with red scales steps forward out of the smoke, and a large, 10-foot tall-ish dragonborn steps forward with a large jetpack strapped to his back and a cannon in his arm, and he just looks around. Where is my son? And that's where we'll leave that for now.
Ooh.
That's 8:05. I think that's a good place to call it for now, and we'll get to some more stuff later. Thoughts?
Oh, he's stopping on the good part.
Learned it from Stu. The cliffhangers gets every time.
That was good.
Thank you, sir. I'm really sorry that we haven't got the party together yet. It's just everyone left off in completely different places.
Yeah.
We gotta get Voltron back together.
I think it makes sense that it's taking a bit, though.
I think so too.
I hope
Well,
everyone's
they
still
Especially
throw
with
up
what
stuff.
Eritrea has done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She was
It's
literally
kind
in
of
the
a sticky
afterlife.
situation.
Don't worry, it's fine. You'll be taken care of. I'm just glad you didn't like get into a fight and then I'd have to like, oh boy, they're not gonna hold back, because that would
I
probably
could
not
have
have ended
taken
well.
them.
I mean, maybe, but like, oh no. It would have been fine either way. But yeah, thank you all for coming out to the session. It was a great time. I'm sorry, I literally just remembered that I was streaming and that chat exists. Did I miss anything? Did you guys
Not
pay attention to the
really.
chat?
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Probably not much.
Okay,
They
cool.
got it covered.
Well, yeah, thanks all for the session. Got any questions, answers, chat? Like casual hanging out before we end?
Paladins Q&A.
Paladins Q&A.
Oh, I'm excited. This is fun. I've missed this so much. Love y'all.
Can't wait to like have a reuniting moment.
Oh heck yeah! Oh, everyone's gonna be so confused why Eritrea is alive.
I know. Eritrea is gonna be confused why she's alive. I don't even know if she knows that she died.
Oh. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
true.
She would probably assume, but like, I don't know. She
saw
hasn't really
images
had
of the
time to like
future.
think about it. So
Yeah, that was a fun nightmare scene to write.
hmm she could have just like been knocked out, you know, and just
Mhm.
left it there.
Mhm.
So when she
Can we talk-
reunites with everybody, they're gonna be like, "You were dead," and she's gonna be like, "What?
By the
I'm
way,
here."
I think there was actually a time skip as well after we got back from that quest where Eritrea and Malthius died. There was like a 2-week time skip. So you've actually been dead for a while and apparently been captured and or not with the party. So when you guys do get together, it's gonna be like, where have you been for 3 weeks? We thought you were
Yeah.
dead. What were you saying, Denise? I thought you were saying something.
Okay, we need to talk about that nightmarish description of that poor deer.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
What in the world?
Literal
Well,
nightmare fuel.
I would explain things, but spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like watching Little Nightmares or something.
Yeah.
You were.
So, Sake, fun fact, there were actually like 3 separate things happening, and I kept having you roll perception checks, and you just got so bad you didn't know what, and I'm like, oh, I guess he knows nothing that's happening, he's just gonna go drink. Didn't plan for that.
I mean, that kind of fits his character, though.
It really
Yeah.
does.
I thought I had good rolls though. Did I not? I don't remember.
I think you got like, I want to say like a 7, a 12, and a something else middle of the road, and none of them were quite enough to hear what was going on. So you missed out on a couple things, but don't worry, you'll find out eventually.
Okay.
So yeah, good times. Love y'all. Hope we have
Good
more.
times
I don't know what I'm
indeed.
saying. I'm just using words to fill space at this point. I guess I'll go ahead and end the stream. Unless you guys want to go ahead and play some Paladins.
I actually just got food, so I
Yeah,
could
you
play
gotta go
after.
finish dinner, but maybe after.
I actually need some food too. I haven't eaten since like 5 hours ago, something like that.
A time.
Well, thank you for coming out to the stream, viewers. It was a great time. Love y'all. Glad to be back into Paladins D&D. And for you guys, obviously I'll see you next session. But I guess we'll talk off stream about whether or not we want to do